Hi, welcome to the BelieveAfrica podcast. We are here in Morocco for season 2, and today we have episode 3, Value-Driven Living. We have with us our special guest, Titus. Titus is based here in Morocco, and I'm going to invite Titus to introduce himself. Hi, Titus.
Hello.
How you doing?
It's good to be here.
Awesome. Good.
My name is Venerable Titus Babatunde Oluwalusi,
Nice.
sometimes called Father Titus.
Yes,
Yeah.
This is how I've known you too.
Yeah, and I'm
Yes.
the president of Anglaise Association
Yes.
in
Casablanca here, yeah.
and Rabat, and also the Chaplain
Yes.
in diocese in Europe. So
Good, excellent. Lots and lots of responsibilities there, though.
yeah, part of life.
And it's really great to see. I think you're the first Nigerian that I've met here in Morocco as well, who's kind of in the role that you're in. So it's really encouraging to see.
Actually, I think I'm the first black taking this position.
Right, there you go. Okay,
Yes.
so that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
So you're
exactly.
making some really huge, positive, social, impact, for Moroccans. It's really great. All part of the successful Moroccan story, right? Contributing towards all of that. So tell me, Titus, what is it that brought you? What is it that drove you to develop an interest in this area of value-driven living?
The first is to actually look at what value is. Per se, to me, I've divided value to be two things.
Right.
Because value naturally, to me, is purpose-driven.
Yes.
Yeah. When you find your purpose,
Right.
then that is when you determine your value. And value is going to be two things. That is self-worth, value of worth,
Yes.
and then value of standard.
Right.
For value of worth, it's talking about, okay, I found my purpose, then what do I have? What is my value? What is my content?
Right.
What am I made of?
Right.
So that is going to determine your first value, which is going to make you know who you really are, what do you have to offer, what kind of thing do you possess, your gift, your talent, your exposure, your academic value. Those are self-worth value.
Right.
Then you talk about value of standard, which is now output. Okay, so every company will say, okay, this is the standard that we don't go below this.
Yes.
If you are looking for a particular brand of a car, they will have luxurious cars and they are going to have the regular car.
This is
so
true, yes.
the value of that vehicle is determined by the standard. So if you are going to buy a car of $10,000, the standard is not going to be the same as that of $100,000. So when you find your worth, then you're going to look at the standard. Let me just say the standard of output. So which will now be your character, your relationship with people. What is actually, at what standard will you call low or high? So where you stand between the low or high, that is what your value is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's quite in-depth. I've not had anyone explain it the way that you have done, Titus. So that's really useful to know, to go down to that degree of detail. But how do you think that a lot of young Africans know what their value is?
Yeah, quite some. But I think where the problem is that when, like I said, when you don't have identity, if you have identity problem,
if you don't know who you are,
it's actually difficult for you to find value.
Right.
And that is one of the things that Africans, especially young Africans, are finding it difficult to have, because the world is becoming more global and everybody is almost a global citizen. But notwithstanding, you must first find, who am I?
Yes. Right.
What stuffs am I made of?
Right.
So when you mix it up, it's difficult for you to begin to set values. Because your value is going to be affected by your environment, your culture, sometimes your faith, and also the kind of class. And so all these things are talking about your idea, your identity of yourself. So the reason we have very few African young people that are able to set values for themselves is because in the first place, there is a battle of identity.
Right. Okay.
Yes. So you don't even know what you should be,
Right.
because you don't know who you are.
Right. Yeah.
So of course you have you go into the kitchen to make something out of yam is different from making something out of rice.
Yes.
So the product, the raw material, is going to determine what you bring out of it. So when I know, okay, I'm an African, okay, after being an African, where am I from? I'm a South African, I'm Nigerian, I'm a Ghanaian, I'm a Kenyan, and you see that in every community, they have different value system, which is determined by who they are.
Right.
So, for example, I'm a Nigerian, and in my country, if you go to the Niger Delta part, a man ties a wrapper, and that is elegant dressing.
Right.
Yes, you tie your wrapper and you wear your bead and some other attire.
Yes.
And that is a very, very smart
Way of
dressing. But in my own part of the country, most men tie wrapper early in the morning before they take their bath. And for a man to tie wrapper as an outfit, that is actually degrading.
So there's
So environment and cultural differences is going to determine so much the kind of value that you keep. So even though the world is global, but notwithstanding, just like in chemistry, you have a particular element and you have isotopes, which are like variations of that particular stuff. So even though we are all human globally, we have some common values like value of life, quality of life, a value of morals, but notwithstanding, your community, which has to do with society, culture, and all those things, we determine. So basically, an African youth may find it difficult because gradually we are finding it hard to be able to say who we are.
Who we are,
Yes.
And I think, as you say, is speaking to the fact, as you said, the world is now very global, right? So there's a lot of external influences, even, right? Which is changing not just cultures but environments, etc. Right? And so all of that is having an impact, either negatively or positively, on young Africans. But from your observation, let's try and home in on Morocco, because I think that the Moroccan story is quite a positive one. You know, there's a lot of positive economic socio-development in Morocco. That's one of the reasons why we Believe Africa decided to have the second season here in Morocco. What do you think, from your observation, is different in Morocco to other countries that that you can?
Yeah, I think I have quite really appreciate their value system,
right?
Because I see this place as a place that is having a lot of diversity.
Okay.
In the sense that they're Africans, but skin-wise, sometimes they don't look like.
Sure. Yes, that's true. Yeah, there's a lot of diversity.
They are like a border country.
Yeah.
Close to Europe, yet in the midst of Arab nations, and yet in African continent. Yes. So it's like they have their feet in so many places.
Right.
But notwithstanding, they have been able to draw out personal lifestyle, which is unique to their community and which is positive.
Right.
So, for instance, the development in this place is like Europe. Their culture system is like African. And that is actually
so
what
it's
makes
like
you
a
unique.
diversity
Yeah.
of,
Okay, you come here, you see good roads, you see stable electricity. It's open to a global economic system.
Yeah.
And so people are able to come here. The tourism is intact.
Yeah.
And yet, even though they are growing, like what you will find in the Western world, yet they have maintained their cultural values.
Yes, right. Yeah.
So you see new buildings blending European, French, and Arabic
Yes.
architectural designs.
Yes.
So, and that is what we really tell you, that when you find who you are and you know what you want to be,
Right.
you are going to get to an equilibrium or a balance that is going to. So I can actually say that they are a good example of what it means to say you have found what your value is and you are putting it into reality.
Yeah. So I see what you mean there by bringing all these different elements of exposure together. You know, French, Arabic, African. And taking the good, if you like, from each part,
exactly.
right? And then bringing it together. So this is, as you're explaining, this is what Morocco has done very, very well. But the value system, is that, I'm trying to kind of dive a bit deeper on the value, what the value system looks like for Morocco. Do you think that the value system is more environmental? Is it more spiritual? Is it more social? What do you think has helped to shape this system in a way that is helping to bring positive change to Morocco?
Like I said earlier, it's actually a balance.
Okay.
Yeah. With the few time I've spent here and walking around and meeting people, you're going to see that some uphold their religious value, but yet they accommodate differences.
True. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So they respect your personal belief system.
Yeah.
So there is room for you to practice what you believe,
Right.
not interrupting the beliefs of another person.
Right.
And because, for example, in the tourism side,
Yeah.
any country that is going to thrive in tourism must be ready to
It has to be, diverse
accommodating, and diversity must come in, because you must be able to embrace people's opinion and culture when they come to your country.
Yes.
And if they don't feel welcomed, if they are not free enough to express themselves, of course, that is bad business for you.
Yes.
So I think they've actually done well in that aspect to be able to So when you go to the street, or you go to the market, or you go to public places, you see a blend of their religious value with civilization, global value system, and then you see the Africanness in them. So it's like taking little recipe from different areas, and then you make a special dish that is comfortable and also presentable to your own personal environment.
Yeah, no, I definitely like that. Do you think from your knowledge, do you think that is part of the education system as well? Yeah,
the education system also. Let me tell you one thing that is funny. When I started working in the diocese in Europe, and having been able to go to some other countries and also seeing my background, one of the first things that I must say was a culture shock to me is that being a master's degree holder, and I got to a place where I actually felt like, have I really been educated enough? Yeah, because an average...
This is across Europe you're talking about, right?
Yeah, even here in Morocco. And you see, an average Moroccan can speak more than one language.
That's true.
And I'm not talking about the local dialect. I've seen some that can speak up to like 4 or 5. Spanish, Arabic, English, and some they can speak French. And then that is actually a kind of global system. It's like globalization. And you come to see in West Africa,
Yeah.
in fact, at this point, some of our children can't even speak the local
The
dialect.
local dialect. That's
And
true.
the English is not perfect.
Yes.
I can't say my English is perfect
Yes.
because I was raised in my local dialect.
Sure.
I learned English in school, which
Yes.
I'm still learning anyway.
Yeah, I think we all are.
Yeah. So what am I saying is that a system
Yeah.
that in their education there are trilingual schools, but the least you can find is bilingual,
Right.
which is very, very.
And language is powerful because it
Yes,
has open
because
doors.
when you can't speak,
Yeah.
you can't express yourself.
True. Yeah.
And when you can't express yourself, your ideas are limited.
Right. Right.
In most cases, communication is the power that drives
Indeed, yeah.
every idea. Because even if you have a good idea and you cannot communicate it well, yes, you are stranded, sort of.
Yeah.
So an average, sometimes on the flight or during a journey, I've been able to call someone beside me who is a Moroccan. Okay,
and have
we're
a
about
conversation.
getting down in a country that is francophone, and the person can speak English, can help me to translate.
Yes. Right. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. You get to the airport and you speak any common language in the world, and somebody,
Yes.
I'm not even talking about the officials now, a regular citizen can actually say something to you, even sometimes to the taxi driver.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
To me, that is worth emulating.
That is there. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Actually. Yeah. That's the power of being conversant with other languages,
Exactly.
isn't it? And,
Yes.
and that's helped them a lot. Yeah. So let's get back to this value topic, Titus. How does a young African who has no idea of who he is, who he or she is, right? How do they embark on this journey of really identifying what their value system wants to look like?
Yeah, I think I will still go back to where I started from, that you cannot say the value when there is no organization.
Yeah.
What I mean by organization is there is a system.
Right.
Okay. Who are you? What do you want to do? Is the first question. Because when you want to set value, you must have a place that you are going to.
Yes.
Yes,
Right.
okay. The value of a footballer is different from what maybe a tech bro,
Yes,
as
indeed,
the
yeah.
Gen Z would call it.
Yeah.
We'll be aiming at. Yeah. For an athlete, he's talking about value system that will drive one is physical body.
Yes.
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 Because he must be physically fit. But for a tech person may not really have that physical strength.
No,
he's
not at
not
all.
going to run.
No, you're right.
So, right? So when you find out what you are aiming at or what you want to be, that is the starting point. Then what is next is now you begin to look at what do you have?
Yes. Right.
What do you have?
As in, what your natural gifts,
Yes.
even, right?
What do you have?
Yeah.
Beyond your gifts, you are talking about even people.
Yeah.
You're talking about your community. For instance, you want to start something that has to do with some basic amenities. It may be a disadvantage for you, or you may need to walk extra mile if you're starting in Africa.
True. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Living in a country where you are not even sure if there will be electricity, you know already that you don't have that. So you must know what you have, then you list what you don't have.
Yes. Yes. So it's a case of making do with what you have.
Yes, so
because you
when
have
you
something.
know what you have, you know what you don't have, then you are going to come into an equation to be able now to sort it.
Yeah.
Those that you are not readily available to you, are they things that you can find an option, an alternative?
Yes.
Or are there things that you will need to work to get? So when that is settled now, you know, that means it's like you want to cook a meal, you know what you have in the kitchen, you know what you need to buy, and you know what is not available, that you have to make an option for.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
I don't have this season, but I can use
But
this
you can-
other one.
Yes.
But this one is actually not available, whether in the market or in the house.
Yeah.
So that means we have to take it out of this
The
calculation.
equation,
So in
yes.
setting goals, when you do that, then the next thing to do now is to set time.
Yes. Right.
Yes, because every value, every goal setting must actually have time. Yes, there are things you can do at some particular time.
Yeah.
So when you set the time, and the time is going to be in two phases, the short term and also the long term.
The long term, yeah. Yeah.
So blending it now with what you already have and what you know you don't have,
Yes.
you begin to set it in gradually. After doing that, then you begin to talk about continuous evaluation and monitoring. Okay, I want to be.
All of this needs patience.
Yes,
Titus,
definitely.
right?
That is why I said
our young Africans are not.
there
Don't
is
have a
short
reputation
time,
for.
There is short-term
Yes.
goals in value system, and there is long-term.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm learning some French because I have to, but there are some basic ones I need so urgently.
Yeah. So there's
to
some
be able
basic
to say bonjour,
sentences.
ça va,
Yes.
bien, okay. For me to be able to say how much is this, combien.
Yeah.
For me to be able to get down in the taxi and say, oh, ici, or descendre.
Yeah.
So those are fast time goals.
Yes. Yeah.
Which determines my value. I had to quickly put my time into it to learn that.
Yeah.
But to now communicate fluently is a long term thing.
Yes, of course.
So every time, what am I doing now? I check daily, okay, can I express myself basically? I need a cup of coffee. Can I be able to say that?
Yeah.
Can I be able to get down from a taxi? Can I be able to tell someone what is the next train station? So those are what rechecking, monitoring my improvement,
Yes.
and listening to some news and music to be able to see how much of it can I pick. So now, as I do that, I'm still learning, but I'm also checking, so that you won't do that gone too far and you discover that, oh, I've gone for 2 years and I've not been able to learn something because you are not checking.
So you're talking about the tracking and the monitoring
Yes.
part,
Yeah.
which is a good way to say that, oh, I'm getting better, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's a good way to say,
And
to build confidence.
it will also
over
help
time.
you to change if there is need to reevaluate.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, because your value at your starting point may not be the same at the at the middle line and towards the head.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yes, when you, for example, in a marathon race, sometimes some people will adapt the system of running fast at the start. So at the middle, you maintain an average pace.
Yes.
To keep yourself ahead.
Yes.
Then towards the end, you increase again. So you can't go, because like I said, there is short term and long term. So you have to keep checking your value.
Yes.
Again, there are some things that are so dear to you in your value when you are starting. When you achieve some things, you check again, is this thing really needed?
Yeah.
Then you drop some, you adopt new values.
Yeah. So let's talk about some examples, Titus, because I think that for young Africans to be attractive in the workplace, for instance, right? Could you think of some examples of some values that would help them to become more attractive in the workplace?
Yeah. The first one is uniqueness.
Okay.
Yes. You know, you are quickly cited when you are different.
Yes.
And your uniqueness is actually very
positive. Yeah.
Because, and that is why I said, find who you are in your natural habitat.
Yes.
Because that cannot be duplicated.
And every single one of us is different, right?
If you are from Nigeria, you are not from my state. If you are from my state, you are not from my hometown. If you are from my hometown, you are not from my community. If you are from my community, you are definitely not from my family.
Yeah.
And if you're from family, you are not my age.
Yeah.
If we are twin, we are not
the same.
The same.
Yeah.
So now that uniqueness, I'm going to give you a simple example that I've had opportunity to attend some international meetings, even with some expatriate and some classified meeting like that. And one of the things I do personally, which has been with me since I can remember, is that if I'm going to meet you for the first time, And if it's not a religious activity,
Yeah.
you are definitely going to meet me in my African way.
Okay, that's brilliant. Okay.
Yeah. So when I walk into a meeting,
Yes.
you don't need anything to know where I'm from,
Yes.
or you don't need to mix it up.
Yeah, yes. I'm so loving your outfit now, by the way.
Thank you. And so when I walk into a gathering,
Yeah.
about 20 to 30 people will come to meet me and say, "Are you Nigerian?"
Yes.
So
yes.
that is
so that's
first,
the identity,
yeah,
part of the identity.
and so that has brought attention because I'm different
Yeah.
and unique.
Yeah.
Then the next will now be adaptation. After uniqueness, adaptation. Yes, okay, now I'm in an environment where there is no local food.
Yeah.
Where the system is different. You are in a workplace where they do things differently,
yeah.
from where it is, from the way it is done, where you are coming from.
Yeah.
So then adaptation comes in. Yes, in Africa, we take respect of elders, especially, very serious.
Very seriously, across Africa.
Okay,
yeah.
so if you are a middle-aged person in your 40 or 50, now you are working outside Nigeria,
Yeah.
and even in your 30s, you'll be surprised that for somebody of 10, 12 years, we see you and tap you and say, "Hi."
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, your value system in your cultural setting
Yeah.
is that someone like that should greet you with what you call respect. But that is not what respect is in your new community. So you must be able to adapt. You must be able to fit into the new system, into new environment.
Yes.
So that adaptation is what we follow your uniqueness.
Right.
Then
Okay.
you are going to talk about participation. Participation. Yes. If you have brought in something, then put it to work.
Right.
Yes. Every young African must know that they have something to contribute. And when you get into a common place, don't sit back.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't, even if you have been assigned a duty, sometimes the responsibility given to you in your office may actually not bring out all that you can afford to give.
Yeah.
So if you have extra to give it.
Oh yeah, going the extra mile definitely
Yes,
is a big
because
plus.
sometimes your responsibility may be so simple that it's something that is not even bringing out your potential.
Yes, true. Yeah.
So don't limit it to your job outline.
yeah.
If you have some gift, you have some things to offer, in the most humble way,
Yeah.
bring it out.
Yeah. Yeah, there is. Sorry to cut you, Father Titus, but there is this saying in the UK that is not part of my job description.
Yeah.
So this is when someone has asked someone to do something.
It's actually a new generational kind of thought, right?
Yeah.
You see,
yeah. Because I'm not getting paid for it.
exactly.
I should not
It's common.
Yeah.
Yes, right. I remember my niece, one of my nieces, when she was young, and the mom said, "Go and get the dishes done."
Yeah.
And she said, "I've not committed any offense today."
Okay, yeah.
Because to her, when she just started doing house chores, to her, it must actually be a punishment.
Yeah, exactly. Some sort of punishment.
Yeah,
So mentally, that's how.
So we have to get out of the fact that in most cases, people who become great did not become great out of their regular responsibility.
True. Yeah. The extra mile is.
Yeah, they did something different, and that is when the attention will come on you.
Yes.
Oh, is it not supposed to be a lawyer?
Yeah.
So what is he doing here?
Yeah.
Oh, is it not supposed to stop here? And that is why I say doing it also in a very humbling way.
Yes. Right.
You look at activists, some are musicians, then they begin to speak for the people, and attention comes to them.
Yeah.
Some are lawyers, some are doctors, and they begin to take public health matter serious. It's not just to give people injection, give them drugs, and say, okay, that is my responsibility
Some sort
as
of
a
social
doctor.
activism. Even,
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
So what you do extra, what you do outside your regular curriculum is going to actually bring you out.
Yeah.
It's going to take you out of the regular that standard.
And that's what,
Yes.
and that's what we want. And you think that here in Morocco, this is evident here in Morocco, where a lot of young people are.
Yeah, I'm going to give you some examples. For example, in entrepreneurship, you may be surprised that the kind of people you find in the market,
Yeah.
the kind of people you find in some basic jobs, where some part of Africans community we take as this is not a job for graduates. You find a graduate doing it here. In fact, some schooled in the West.
Yes.
They have
typically France.
international certificates,
Yeah.
and they're in business. And I'm not talking about big offices.
Yes.
They are ready to start from somewhere.
Okay.
So that is actually
And
what I'm saying.
entrepreneurship
Adaptation,
is quite powerful, right? Yeah. Good way
doing
to-
beyond the regular. Yeah, we have to go. Thank God that even in other parts of Africa, other people are also coming up to know that everybody is not going to be 9 to 5.
Yes.
Everybody is not, that you studied medicine doesn't mean you will be in hospital forever.
Right.
Your job can lead to your dream. Yes.
Yeah.
So, which will not make it a dream job.
Definitely.
So,
yeah.
you can actually start from job, then bring your dream in and turn it into a dream job.
Yes.
Or you drop the job and it becomes your dream alone.
yeah.
So, that is what I found there, that people are taking responsibility.
For their own personal responsibility.
Yes. It doesn't have to mean what is common. It doesn't have to mean what everybody is doing.
Okay.
So if you actually want to be unique, you want to be seen, then you have to go and think outside the box, and
yeah.
also even act outside the box.
Yeah, and I guess it's the environment as well, isn't it? In that we in Morocco, the systems do work to a certain degree, and that also helps, right? To,
Yeah, but you definitely know that is in two ways.
yeah.
Yeah. When a system is working, people are working.
Yes.
And when people are working, a system is working.
Yeah, definitely.
So for a system to work, it's because some people are working. And when it works, it encourages other people to also work.
Yeah. It's all people driven. Right?
So it's
We're all in the
actually
people business.
intertwined. It's like a cycle. So if you don't start, something good will not come out. If something good is not coming out, other people will not start.
Yeah.
So if we are going to have a good system in Africa,
then we need more people taking that initiative.
Yeah, you have to take that responsibility.
Yes.
Because it's not always that someone, you may be the pace setter. And you know, that is not a position anybody wants to take.
Yeah.
We all want to be beneficiaries.
Yeah.
We don't want to be benefactors. We want a system that
that's
works.
a good way to put it, right?
Yeah,
Beneficiaries.
we don't want a system that doesn't work.
Yeah.
We just want to arrive, have, even our leaders, that is what they want. But when you come to a system where everybody thinks, oh, I need to be part of this, what can I contribute?
Yeah.
Then things start to work.
Fall into place. Yeah. So more and more people need to just take that.
Yeah, the more it's
initiative.
working, the
Yes.
more other people who may not have the boldness to be pioneers or pace setters will also be encouraged.
Right.
Give me light, give me electricity, I may be able to give you production. But if you decide not to give me electricity, I may not have the strength to provide energy and at the same time give you product.
Yeah.
So in a way, when one is taking responsibility, you are not only fulfilling your part, you are helping others to also start in a way.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, really great insights, Father Titus, especially from a Moroccan perspective, because I think this is what our listeners want to hear. As I mentioned from the beginning, that the Moroccan story is very inspiring.
Exactly.
And we want other African countries to glean from it, learn from it, and in the process try and bring positive change across the whole continent. So, and I love the way that you broke down the value system into smaller chunks, because this makes it easier to digest. But if we can help our young Africans to be people of value, then they can go on to help their countries and organizations and ultimately their countries to be in a positive place. So thank you once again.
You're welcome.
Titus. Really, really wonderful. So hopefully this conversation has been really, really useful with all the insights that has been shared by Father Titus. Please stay tuned to our social media channels stay with us, and we will see you at the next episode. Thank you. If you feel inspired by this conversation, please share your thoughts in the comments below and help us spread the nuggets of wisdom by sharing it with people who can also benefit from this content. And please remember to like and subscribe to support our channel. Together we are bringing positive change to our world. Keep dreaming, keep believing, and keep shifting those minds. Looking forward to you joining us at the next episode.